What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is the man of the quarter hour, Felipe Calderon III, FC3, no relation to Far Cry 3, and today we are back at it with CSR Racing, but today is going to be different because we are starting a whole new playlist, we are starting a whole new setup of videos. Yes, we are here to talk about Tempest 1, the one where I already beat that, but of course I got to show you guys the setups and the cards that I used to do it, so we're going to get on at it. First things first, before you can even take on the Tempest, you got to go ahead and get your elite license. To do that, you need 5 different cars to take on certain time trials. Now, the cars I use are as followed. For the tier 1 time trial, I used my Toyota GT86 right here. Yes, this is the same car I used back for the original story in tier 1 against KJ. This car can do the job. The reason I chose to use this car was because it was my first car. I knew that once you made a car elite, you can't get rid of it. You're not allowed to strip it. You're not allowed to sell it. See? You cannot strip this car. Seriously, after all you did to earn this as an elite car, don't throw it away. You're not allowed to do it. This is my first car, so I thought, okay, might as well make sure I keep this car. So I made it elite, and I didn't think twice about it. Besides, if you remember, in the world record listing, the Toyota GT86 is the slowest tier 1 car. So I already knew I had faster cars to take on the Tempest, so I didn't think twice about it. The tier 2 car that I chose to use for the elite license was none other than my Ford Focus RS. The reason I chose this car was because that KJ's GT86 Rocket Bunny 3-star, 3 purple star, wasn't fast enough, and I wanted to use my TTRS for something else. So that left my Ford Focus one gold star because that was the only other tier 2 that I had. I didn't want to go and buy another car so I could do it. I had some parts for this thing. As you can see, this thing is fitted with a lot of stage 6 parts, but I did not put any fusions because I've used those fusions in different cars, because as you can see, it does say I have fusions for it, but I am not fitting them in. So this car, it can take on the tier 2 time trial. It depends on how you build it. It doesn't even really need the stage 6 parts, but that's just how I did it. So yeah, this car is what I chose given the circumstances that I had back then. Next on the list is tier 3, and yes, the Mustang GT does make its way back into the videos. This is the car I used to take on Kurtz, but I made this thing into elite. The reason I did that was because I didn't think to use Ashley's Mercedes-Benz hatchback, and I had stage 6 parts for this thing. That's why those parts are fitted. So if you guys are wondering, back in the tier 3 video I made a while back, this is the reason why I put those stage 6 parts in there, but I didn't think I was making those videos. I would make those videos, so I didn't think to take them out, and I didn't have enough gold to do it. So now this thing has been made elite. It seemed like a good fit at the time. I don't drive it often unless it's in a daily cup, like a tuning trial or anything like that. So this thing, it can do the job, but I'm pretty sure if you have enough fusion parts, you can use Ashley's Mercedes-Benz. And once again, my 2015 GTR R35 Premium makes its way back into the videos yet again, even though it has become from one of my most recent videos. This thing I did use for Elite, because it was actually my only tier 4 car back then. So that is one of the main reasons. I didn't have any fusion parts for Kurt's Mustang back then, and it was a purple 4-star, and the Nissan Premium again was the only car I had. Otherwise, I could have used Kurtz if I saved my parts, because again, I put them all into my Mustang GT that I used to beat Kurtz. So this thing I had to use instead. I honestly doesn't matter to me. I might fully build this, I might not. Oh, which reminds me, I did take out those remaining stage 6 parts. If you remember from the other video I made with this thing had 2 stage 6 parts. I did take those out and I put them into my LB GTR. So if you guys want, I can do a remake video for this thing so you guys can see you don't need stage 6 parts to take on Victor Kid. And I can show you how fast the LB GTR is. But that's up to you guys. To me, it doesn't really matter. And finally, guys, the tier 5 card that I used for my time trial was none other than Shaq's Agera R. This thing, even though being the second slowest card in the game, I already knew that purple 5-star cars produce the most RP regardless. So it felt like it was a good fit. So as you can see, it does 58% RP. With my crew bonus, it's 20. With the rarity of being a 5-star purple, that produces another 18%. Its freshness, it never dies. That's another 10%. So I'm already at 48. So once you add the elite bonus, which is an additional 10%, lo and behold, you have yourself 58%. Even though it is the slowest car, it is the one I produce most. And like I said in the last video this thing was in, that's the reason why this thing has 1.5 thousand miles on this thing. It is my elite car, so I use this thing a lot. There is another car that I have that is purple star, but I'm choose not to tell you guys that, at least not yet, for a video that is way later on. First we need to finish this series of videos before I can show you guys the next set. So yeah, I'm not telling you guys to use these cars specifically. I'm just showing you what I use. But in all honesty, the boss cars, you could probably use them. So if you put enough fusions into them, because of course they already come with all 42 parts. If you put enough fusions into those cars, you should be able to use them for the time trials, which is a better fit because that way you have purple star cars, which give you the most RP that you can get. Alright, this seems to be one of my shorter videos, but oh well. So that's the end of this. The next video I'll be showing you guys within CSR is the car I use to start off in Tempest. It will be in Tempest Tier 3 because the Tempest do not do this thing in order. So all the next few videos they're going to be mixed up. So we will be starting in Tempest 1 Tier 3. I will be showing you the car that I used to beat Altre in that and to win the boss car. So as always, I'm Felipe Calderon III, SC3, telling you all, when in doubt, off with their heads. I still need a new outro, so I'll see you guys in the next one.